Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Neighbors Cooking. I am your chef and host Mitch, and we've got a really fun show for you, but we're not doing a lot of cooking. So we are now just coming off of Palm Springs Pride a couple days ago, and starting this Friday is the Palm Springs Food and Wine Festival. And we start off with Friday with a VIP event with all of the celebrity chefs and myself. I'm so excited to do that. And then Saturday, the Food and Wine Festival opens. I'll be doing my presentation on Sunday, and along with that, I will have a booth this year at the Food and Wine Festival. And I am going to be sharing my smoked pork shoulder with my special barbecue sauce, which is a Medjool date barbecue sauce. It is a signature sauce for me that I've been making for years and incorporates our local dates here. Medjool dates come from Palm Springs or from Indio, and but another city in another area in our valley here, and we are famous for our dates. So I wanted to create a barbecue sauce years ago that brought in the local flavors along with the standard things that go into a barbecue sauce. So we're going to be making the barbecue sauce. I'm going to show you how to make it, what all the ingredients are. I'm giving away my secret. And then we are going to show you different ways to use this. So one of the most important ingredients, of course, is our smoked pork. And this has been on my smoker for about 10 hours. The key to great smoked meat is slow go and keep it at a low temperature. You have to keep misting it with apple cider vinegar or some other, you could use orange juice, you could use, there's a lot of different things you could do to keep those moistures going. But when it's done, it just literally just falls apart. And as you can see, is just this beautiful, beautiful shredded pork that I've hardly had to do anything to get to be shredded. But of course, you've got to use a 5-pound pork or a 10-pound pork shoulder to get that to be, that's about the smallest you're going to find. And I know for a lot of you, that's a lot of meat. What do you do with all that? It's great to have some smoked pork, but what else can you do with it? So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to use this smoked pork to prep some food for the week. But first, we're going to go into the barbecue sauce. It's pretty simple as sauces go. Let me turn my stove on over here. And we are going to start off by, can you see this here, Joe? Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to start off by what goes into it. So we're going to start off with, I've got a half a cup of apple cider vinegar. I've got a half a cup, maybe a little more of just ketchup. You could use tomato sauce, but ketchup has some of the sugars that you want in your barbecue sauce. We're going to use a half a cup of brown sugar. And we're going to put in our Medjool dates. Now, you don't have to cook this sauce to make it, but you're going to want to eventually heat it up. And you could put everything into your blender and you would be fine with getting the dates and whatnot. But I want to put the dates into the sauce, and I want to kind of heat it up a little bit just to start to soften up those dates so that when we do put it in the blender to blend it all together, it will not have any grits in it. And we're going to add about a half a cup of water. You will add more water once you start to see the consistency, the thickness that you want. We want it to be a fairly thick sauce. And the rest of the ingredients we'll put in just a little bit once this gets going. So Joe, we just came off Palm Springs weekend. You fed 210 volunteers over the weekend. That's the official, unofficial number. Oh, okay. So I'm not sure exactly where we're at. We're still looking at people who were there on site. We know we're on site, but didn't sign into the system. So, but that number might go between 210 and 250, but good job.
Thank you.
Well,
I had a little bit of support from a well-known chef.
Me?
Yes.
No, Joe, you did that all on your own, and I'm so thankful, so thank you so much. Thank you to our community partners. Thank you to our volunteers. I have to say that I think this, in the 9 years I've been doing Palm Springs Pride, I think this is the best year that we have had with the way we organized and fed our volunteers and that we got them in and into their places. We had about a 90% show up rate, so that was really good. And so I'm very pleased with that. So thank you to all of you. And I'm about to sneeze from the vinegar. Excuse me. Now I got to wash my hands. But it was a very successful event, but I'm very excited about the Food and Wine Festival. So there are still tickets available if you go to PS Palm Springs Food and Wine Festival.org, I believe it is, or net. Just look up on your search Palm Springs Pride, Palm Springs Food and Wine Festival.
We're done with Pride.
We're done with Pride. I got to get it out of my head. And there are still tickets for the VIP event, and for the Saturday and Sunday there are general admission, and there are VIP tickets for the weekend event where you get lots of free liquor or lots of free wine tastings. And I think there's even a platinum level that you go home with half a case of wine and a full belly. But I'm going to be presenting this dish. Whoops, I got a little hot, a little fast. I'm going to be presenting this dish, a smoked pulled pork, as a taste with the Medjool date barbecue sauce. It is really, really delicious. I hadn't made it in a while, and I made it a couple days ago, and it turned out, well, a couple weeks ago, and it turned out really well. Joe certainly enjoyed it.
Oh, it's so good.
So that's off to a good start. So the next things that go into our ingredients here is garlic powder, onion powder, about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, about a tablespoon of smoked paprika, a couple of tablespoons of molasses, and a couple of tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. So we're going to go ahead and add those all into our dish here. And you can adjust these spices once you get it going, because you're going to want to. If you want it more tart or more tangy, that's where you can do some of your adjustments. But to me, this is the perfect recipe that I should bottle someday, but I'm giving it to you all free today. Copyright Mitch's signature Medjool date barbecue sauce. Just so there's a record. And the molasses. And Joe, you're going to be helping me during the weekend for Food and Wine.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've not been to this event yet.
It's really a spectacular event, and a few thousand people go to it. So it should be really a lot of fun and well attended. So let me just taste that up a little bit. And if you don't know what a date looks like, it's me. No, I'm just kidding. Although I did meet somebody, so we'll see how that goes. Very nice person. This is a Medjool date. There are different sizes of date. This one is pitted. It's easier if you buy a pitted date, even though I'm not quite sure how they pit them because they're still all together. But it's got no pit. It makes it easier to cut up. They're very sticky. We're going to add a little salt and pepper into this sauce. And that is the basis of this entire sauce. We're not cooking it for hours. I'm going to take that right out of there. And we're going to put it in the blender. Whoops. Put it in the blender. Dates and all. It smells so good. And I am going to cover my microphone for a second because that's going to be loud. So here we go. So this is a little thicker than I want it to be. So you can see it's pretty thick. And I would like it, oh my God, but it is, it is by far, and I'm a little prejudiced, of course, it's probably by far one of the best barbecue sauces you could ever taste. And that's, I know I'm being a little prejudiced about that, but we'll add a little bit more water into it. And then we're going to get into the magic. When you're working with these types of things, you want to build your flavors. So barbecue sauce can either be very spicy, or it can be very sweet, or it can be, bitter. There's a lot of vinegary. There's a lot of different barbecue sauces. The nice thing with this is the Medjool dates and that brown sugar blend together to take some of the bite off of the rice, of the vinegar that we have in it. So I'm going to let Joe have a taste.
Oh. Ooh.
Isn't that good?
I'm taking some home tonight. Oh, it's delicious.
It's really good. So let's look at what we can do with our pork. We're going to start off by putting some of our sauce over the pork. And we'll keep some because we're going to use it for a little bit of after toppings. And sometimes the best way to work with these ingredients is with your hands.
Now, how long did it take to smoke that pork?
About 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you're smoking any meat, beef, pork, not so much chicken, but certainly the redder meats and the thicker meats, it's just very low heat, super smoker mode, like I do it at 200 for about 8 hours. Every hour or so, you got to go in and spray some vinegar or some whatever moisture you're going to put onto your meat. We used orange juice. All right, so we've got our meat here. So what can we make with all of this? Except to make your mouth water. So we got that all mixed together. So our choices are, let's start off with some tacos. Simple to make. You can just take you've got a taco holder like I do, put them in. Let me get my pastry brush. So this is where we're going to add some of our flavor on the back side of it, just so it's there. A little flavor. And while we're making that, I want to turn on my little center grill here. All right. Oh, I also made some coleslaw. Get my cheese. So I made some coleslaw. Coleslaw is very simple. It's just red and purple cabbage with some grated carrots and about a half of an onion, really finely diced. Put in a cup of mayonnaise, some apple cider vinegar, salt, pepper, honey or sugar, and you'll have a great coleslaw. Should sit in your oven in your fridge at least an hour. Anything over 4 is much better. So consider, same with your meat, longer is better. It is with coleslaw also. So we'll put some of this coleslaw in. Benny, you gotta get out of my way, down here in the bottom. I guess I'm just gonna hand these things to Joe and let him taste them over the counter. He'll be full tonight.
I came hungry.
You came hungry? Well, that is the way to come to Neighbors Cooking, hungry. All right. We're going to put some of our pork in. Already has plenty of barbecue sauce. There we go. And it's much easier to make your tacos in these taco flights than it is. We'll put a little bit of cheese on top. Cheese. A A little bit of guacamole. A little bit of sour cream. And a couple of grated tomatoes. And you have yourself a great meal that you can use when you warm up this pork. You can freeze this in your freezer. There's lots of things you can do with it. I'm going to let Joe have his taste over there. Don't get my screen dirty. There we go. Take one. See what you think.
Oh, wow, that's so good.
Isn't that really good? The coleslaw gives it some crispiness.
Yeah.
The barbecued pork, and it's just, you know, a taco. So what else can I make? Well, you ask. How about we make a quesadilla? That's the other thing we could make with this. So with quesadillas, you always want to start with your cheese on the bottom. Get a nice amount of it on there. We'll take some of our pork. Not too much because you're going to have to fold it over in half at some point. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on my little grill here in the middle. I know I have another pastry brush. There it is. All right, and we're going to put our quesadilla right on the grill and let that start to do its thing. What else could you make, Mitch? Well, I'm so glad you asked. How about we get some brioche buns? And in this case, I'm going to take a little bit of mayonnaise, kind of like a grilled cheese you would do with a grilled cheese. You could also put butter if you wanted to put butter, or nothing if you didn't want to do anything. But I'm just going to put a little bit of mayonnaise on the bun. And we're going to let that start to go on our stovetop over here also. So we'll just put that there and there. We've got our cheese melting on there. I want to get a little bit of extra barbecue sauce just to put over the top of the quesadilla. You could put some chopped onions. You could put, you know, really whatever you'd like to put into it. And once we got that going, we will fold it. We should be getting a nice golden brown on this, yep. Fold it over. Give it another second. Our buns should come brown pretty quickly. I think this quesadilla is good. And I'm using queso cheese in this particular case. So we've got a quesadilla. And we'll give Joe a taste of that. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Another way to do it.
Oh, it's such a different flavor profile.
Everything changes on it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then our last thing is going to be just our brioche bun. We're going to take some pickles, hamburger pickles, put them along the bottom here. There we go. So we'll put some pickles. So we're going to get that hamburger pickle, that dilly pickle flavor. We're going to take some of our coleslaw, put that on the bottom, on top of the pickles. Yum. We're going to take some of our pork, pile it on top of that, and a little more barbecue sauce over the top. And voila. And Joe, I'm going to have you come on this side of the camera.
Okay.
Since we get to see your pretty face at least once while you're stuffing it with food. And you can take a bite of the brioche sandwich.
Wow, look at that.
With the coleslaw and the...
Oh my God. Totally different. Oh, amazing. I'm going to eat.
You've got cameras to run for a few more minutes. So as you can see, there's a lot of things. Other things you might be able to do with this is you could make a barbecue pizza. You could either buy the pizza dough, you could buy the pre-made, I forget the company that makes them, but they're in your grocery store. And you would put the barbecue sauce on the bottom, put your cheese, you could put some pickles, and then you could put your barbecue beef on top. You could do the quesadillas, you could do a lettuce wrap. You could take it and put it into a lettuce wrap with the guacamole and the sour cream and the coleslaw and a lettuce wrap and eat it that way. So there's so many ways that you can use this pork up in probably your next week of meal prep. And as I said, it will freeze well, so put it into a freezer bag. If you have one of those ones that suck all the air out, sealer bit things, use that. It'll stay longer, but it'll stay a good week in your fridge without you having to be worried about it at all. So I hope that this is a quick show today. I hope that you will come and see me at the Food and Wine Festival, either this Friday at the VIP event or on Sunday when we're doing our presentation. We're open from 11 to 4 on Sunday. Just look for the Big Neighbors Cooking banner and all of the crowds of people coming to see and taste all the food. And I will look forward to seeing you all there. Until then, have a great week. And thanks for coming and thanks for visiting us. Please like and follow us on all of our social media. Catch all of our other shows on YouTube. And until then, remember, there is always a place for you at our table. Have a great week.